Well, there you can see we're just heading into the outskirts of town. One or two of the riders who were in the moves earlier on, slipping to the back end of the main field, but still it's a very, very precarious running towards the line. There on the right-hand side, the long line of orange jerseys, that's Rabobank. Are they looking after Mark Renshaw this afternoon? That is a high possibility.
Well, this is also Team Saxo Bank trying to get on terms here. Well, they've got a good finish in Jonathan Cantwell, who's got a one-year contract with that team this year. The boys in black are Team Sky. They're looking to get CJ Sutton, or would it be Boysenhagen up there? The mauve jerseys of the team of Pataki and the orange jerseys of the Dutch Rabobank squad.
There's a lot of bumping and barging going on there as riders don't want to touch their brakes. They want to hold their position at the front end of this line, and still Saxo Bank are very close to the front.
But one or two teams now losing their leaders here, and he's looking to where his men have gone around him, and they're swinging around. Now the wind is causing all of this sweeping and change of direction. It's going to be a very, very quick but a very difficult finish into this wind.
A lot of riders from Quick Step also moving up to the top end of this main field, and now we can start to see everyone's zigging left and right. There we can see a rider from Radio Shack and Nissan Trek also looking after one of their riders. Moving up on the left hand side, it's Team Lamprey there trying to get to Alessandro Pataki. He's number 3 in that line of riders. I think it's his first time here to race in the Santos Tour Down Under. He'd be trying to open up his account with a victory this afternoon. He's the rider there with the fluorescent green bike.
Well, Hutrovic is also trying to get up here. Saxo Bank have finally got Cantwell into the firing line here, right in the centre, second rider in the mauve. The Pataki team is also here, the Lamprey boys. This is a difficult approach really, because as you can see the road is tarmacked only in the centre strip, and if they slip off the edge of this tarmac they are really in the dirt, and that will be very, very difficult.
Well, they're losing a little bit of organisation, but you can see the pink and blue jerseys of Lamprey are very much now in control. Number 4 in that line is Alessandro Pataki. Bumping and barging just a little bit further back behind him is the new Quick Step squad, and they also are trying to move their riders up towards the front. You can see now on the right-hand side, that's Garmin Cervelo, Garmin Barracuda. Oh, looks like somebody's gone off the road.
Everybody's off the road on the right, and they really can't make any progress. It'll be like riding in sand there. They've lost so many places, but Pataki is still holding himself second wheel of those two riders in the mauve jersey. Team BMC, now again, the wind causing another change of direction. A rush on the left of the road. All right as we look.
Now it's Mike Rogers on the front now for Team Sky. He's looking over his shoulder. He hasn't got any teammates alongside him, but he wants to keep the pace nice and high to make sure that his rider CJ Sutton doesn't get boxed in at all. But there on the left-hand side now at 1 kilometre to go, it's Team Lotto. They're looking over their shoulders. Where is Andre Greipel there trying to get this? Oh, there's a big crash.
There's a crash gone down in the middle. That's a Vaconcelet, and there's a mass pile up there and dust all over the place. Well, that's split the peloton, and it looks like a spectator is also down there. They've clipped a spectator, I think, and the peloton has stopped racing. Well, they'll all get the same time. They were inside the last 3 kilometre rule, but the race to be won for the day is in this small group surviving at the front.
Absolute chaos there, but there you can see we've got a couple of riders on the right-hand side. That's Team Sky. You can see the Lamprey riders in the pink and blue jerseys. They're looking after Alessandro Pataki, but it is chaos right in there. On the outside there, you can see Mark Renshaw in the Rabobank colours as well, trying to get himself into the mix, but it's Team Sky now completely in control there with CJ Sutton.
And it is CJ second wheel here. Matty Heyman was the lead-out man, trying to squeeze through on the barriers. And Hutrovic is also going in the white centre now. And Greipel is getting himself in. A little bit of a hook there by Pataki on Greipel. But Greipel comes clear and looks at Pataki and says, "What do you think you're doing?" He has taken the stage, and he opens his account on day 1 of the Santos Tour Down Under. 105 was Hutrovic. Now let's go back. This is the scene of the crash here. There is a spectator down as well, and let's hope that nobody is seriously injured here. Watch the right of the picture.
Well, coming down, this is the final kilometre. The first rider to go down there went very hard indeed, and as you can see, these guys had nowhere left to go. Everyone is on the edge of their saddle at a moment like this, and the guy who went down, the Vaconcelet rider, he was right up at the front end of the main field, and then all of a sudden, chaos.
And the guy who hit that lady almost head on there was Jurgen Rollins of Belgium. Let's hope they're both okay. As we now take the sprint again, there was the huck which seemed to come also from Hutrovic on Greipel. A very confused and annoying sprint for the German, I think, but the result was right in the end. For the moment, it looked as though CJ Sutton was being led by Team Sky to the victory. But then the big man we call the Gorilla got himself into gear.
But Phil, just look how far back he came from. He was not inside the top 10, then all of a sudden he's got that big, powerful acceleration. He really has got the legs to go for this afternoon. The acceleration on the line and the kick, but it was very, very close indeed.
But it was a rough ride up to the line there, with riders colliding in this last kilometre. And Greipel has got his win, he's second in his last 2 outings. Pataki is in second place, and Hutrovic will get third. But I bet you Greipel was not happy with Pataki with that sprint.
Well, Andre, the first stage of the Santos Tour Down Under, and very close finish and a photo victory given to yourself.
Actually, I was lucky that I could even sprint. There was a massive crash with 800 meters to go. I was out of my pedals and I lost from 5th position maybe. I was 25th or whatever, but I could bridge the gap, and yeah, I was pretty lucky. I think it was not really fair what Pataki did at the final sprint. He ran from all the left to the right, and he didn't care about the crash.
That crash was provoked about 200-300 meters to go, and you had to recover from that and try and get yourself the victory.
Yeah, my teammates, 2 of them crashed. I think Jürgen Roelands is not good. Yeah, it was just a really hard day with the temperature, and yeah. But I mean, for Pataki, it's just he's a big star. He shouldn't do this. Just keep the line, and just keep the line in the sprint.
Well, it sounds easy, but the winds really were strong today and quite violent, either cross or head. It caused a slow time as well for the rides. It took them for over 4.5 hours, and the winds are causing 1 or 2 problems. Bryce Freire falling there, and the argy-bargy in the sprint here with Eduard Vorganov. He was relegated to the back of that group. And then this crash in the middle of the field as well, as the field were forced to stop. And of course the big crash which happened on the kilometre marker as they collided with a spectator. But happily the spectator was reportedly unhurt, and that's good news. Let's have a look at the overall situation now. It's not the same as the stage result. Greipel, of course, is in the ochre jersey tomorrow for Santos. Pataki is in second place at 4 seconds. Martin Kohler, because of his sprint riding, he's also in equal second there. Greipel is the first ochre jersey leader of this year's Santos Tour Down Under. In the Jayco sprint jersey, he also leads in that by a single point over Pataki, who will wear the jersey tomorrow, and Hutrovic is in third. So the Jayco sprint jersey, it'll be worn by Alessandro Pataki, but it's owned at the moment by Andre Greipel. He seems to have forgotten that clash now in the sprint with Pataki. Let's have a look at the Skoda King of the Mountains competition, the green spotted jersey, being worn tomorrow by Marcelo Pavarin. And he will battle over Fox Creek tomorrow on the road to Stirling to try and keep the lead in that. It's a second category climb. Let's have a look at the cycle instead, young rider, and it's Rowan Dennis who has won this one, and well deserved by Rowan Dennis, in the face of the action all day. And the most aggressive rider was given to Eduard Vorganov in the Katusha team. Well, that's it. Tomorrow we'll be in the Adelaide Hills, and until then, it's goodbye.